Hey, this is Terry Green. Welcome back to the Green Room. And this time, the Green Room is on location. Today, we are going to be highlighting the incredible skills of my friend, my new musical muse, I call him, JJ Williams. I've been everywhere. I've been from Croatia to Italy to Slovenia, and I was very, very happy to catch up with JJ Williams on location in Columbia, Maryland. Hey everybody, this is Terry Green. It's my pleasure to welcome JJ Williams, Jay Williams, who is a phenomenal drummer to the stars, and he actually showed up on one of my records, which is crazy, by way of Lenny Harris. And I just want to say thank you so much for everything you did for me, because you changed the trajectory of some of the records that I've done. Doors have opened. I'm doing a lot of things that people loved what I did. Kind of made me feel like I didn't want to do it unless it was going to be real. And Jay, he's about to go with Chaka Khan. Okay, Chaka, of course, that's on another level. We give props to, she deserves her flowers. She's one of the best in the game. But Jay, how'd you start as a drummer, and then who's some of the most phenomenal people who are not R&B that you work with?
Oh, wow.
That's the question you weren't expecting.
Well, I was playing at the age of 3 in church.
Oh, that's 3. John Lampkin at 4, so you beat him.
In church, I started playing, and my dad was an organist. So wherever he played, I was right there with him, and you know.
Oh, you came out of the church?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Still playing church. Yep, still playing church. Other artists that I worked with, you mentioned Chaka, and then there's Dave Koz.
I knew about Dave.
Jonathan Butler.
Oh, I love Jonathan.
Gerald Albright.
Right.
Some of the artists who are not with us anymore. George Duke.
You were with, I met George in Germany. Oh, he was phenomenal.
Great guy.
And a nice guy.
Yeah.
I was with him. I met him and Al Jarreau.
Yeah.
And at the end, since I was the only person of color there, we kind of clicked. And then he kept telling Al, man, calm down. Recently, I was lucky enough, compliments of John Lampkin III. I said, oh, he couldn't do a gig, so we need to find someone to jump in. And that is when I found out that JJ was going to come in from Northern Maryland and Southern Maryland, and he was going to play. And I said, JJ, okay. It was really incredible because we had never met, and he showed up and actually played the very song that had not been released yet, but that was going to be released, called Worth It. So I actually got to see what the real drummer on the actual record sounded like. So it was like a bingo, I win, I'm good now. Like, he just smashed it. They tell me, you know you work too hard, but I tell them not nearly hard enough. They say, girlfriend, you know you go too far. Around the world ain't hard enough. But I only want to show you what you mean to me. Every time I'm reaching out to you, I start to sing. I might be drowning in desire. Your sweet, sweet touch. I don't care what anybody says, 'cause I love you so much. Love, so in need of help. Love. I met JJ Williams through Lenny Harris. I was searching for a drummer in Maryland to record on my very first R&B single, and Jay was living not far away from where I usually stay with my mom in Maryland, and that was the first time we came together for a project. And we actually had never met. We just kind of sent music back and forth. He was super professional, and then I realized who he was and what he had done. Because Lenny Harris, the member of NWO, the founding member, he did not tell me that Jay Williams was the JJ Williams, who played with everybody from Sheila E. to Chaka Khan to Dave Koz. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. So I'm just pretty lucky. Sweet embrace, out of the ocean of love, no one can take your place. Come on, y'all. Love all the world, sure in need of help. Love all the world, give me myself. Love all the world, don't know what to do. Love all the world, so in love with you. You know, a drummer needs to be in the pocket. So I can tell you what the pocket is, but I feel the pocket. And so when someone is not in the pocket, I can't explain to them why I don't like what they're doing. I just know that I don't feel it. I'll call, in production, I'll say, put it in my throat, give it to me. Like, it's an emotional thing as well as it is a scientific and a musical thing is. So my musical ear will usually tell me, and also on stage with live drummers, you have to feel the music. JJ feels the music, whether it's go-go, house, dance, soul, R&B, neo-soul, jazz, smooth jazz, fusion. He can do it all, and you can feel that.
I've been blessed. I've really been blessed.
Yeah.
And along with you is a blessing.
Cut it on out. Stop.
It's a blessing. I count it a blessing.
Dude, cut it out. I just when I heard your drum play when you play live drums on Worth It, the beginning, it's like your thing is, of course you got the groove, you're gonna do everything. It's how you touch the very first sticks. That's like your phenomenal juicy.
Well, my thing is, as a drummer, drummers are musicians. Let's make that clear. So as a drummer, I try to make sure I play what the music needs, and kind of.
You don't play with ego.
Right.
That's what you don't do.
Kinda,
like when it was your turn tonight, like that go-go song. That was just so good.
Thank you.
Man, my hit list, my wish list of people I just want to meet, who Jay's already worked with. Chaka Khan, number one. Love it. I just think she would be hilarious to talk to. And I'd love to meet Stephanie Mills. I think I've played more Stephanie Mills in my life, probably only next to Phyllis Hyman. I just burned out the 80s and 90s, 2000s with Stephanie Mills and Phyllis Hyman. So Stephanie is definitely someone. He worked with Kim Burrell, the gospel singer. Would love to get to know her. He also worked with I played Sheila E.'s music in the 90s, like I was in the band. So Sheila E. as a drummer, the combination of her being a drummer, as a female drummer and percussionist, and JJ, that's definitely in the top of my list as well.
So I try to give the artists what they want, and to make sure I'm playing for the artist. So I have to lay that foundation for the artist. So.
Well, you laid it. You did it. I'm not going to hold you up. I know you're about to go with Chaka and Tiny Dancer and Tiny Room and Tiny Desk and every kind of thing. But I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, I don't take it lightly when people get on my stuff, because we're just these indie artists. Raheem talks about that. Raheem's producer mixed the record. I'm Jamil Face.
Okay.
And he just looks out for me, and it's kind of like, I don't think I would be able to make that pivot right now if it wasn't for cats who already achieved, especially in soul and smooth jazz and stuff. So thank you.
No, thank you.
Get on your long ride to Bellsfield.
All right.
And man, you're so humble. You're a beautiful person.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
And that little setup you got, how you set your drums up, top-notch recording. If you need a drummer, hope you can afford him. You better call on me. Let me know. I think you got to be one of the best drummers in the country. And definitely, I implore you to reach out.
Thank you.
If you got time, because he's old.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jay.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
People sometimes ask you why you're so picky about drummers and what makes a drummer stand out versus another drummer. So I don't want to go on, I don't want to down anybody's skill level or whatever. Depending on the genre, genres require a certain thing. So when I was dancing and electronic music artist, the drums require a certain thing. But when it starts to be soul, jazz, and fusion, it's always in the hand, it's in the wrist. I can almost look at them and know, oh, it's so tight. I don't know if the wrist is gonna have that. It's like making love. Like, you just gotta have the right timing and feel and emotion. And people who are better at it usually have the emotion and the feel and the timing. And I think that's why drummers have to get so much love, because it can go really, really wrong. Unfortunately for me, it has been super exciting to work with people like J.J. Williams and John Lampkin III because they know what they're doing.
Good night, everybody. Do you feel real good? I see your hand. I want you one time to put your hands in the air before you go.
J.J. Williams is one of the most sought-after drummers in the country. You might know his work. For example, he's worked with Sheila E. He's worked with Stephanie Mills, Chaka Khan, who he's currently on tour with. He's worked with Dave Koz and other incredible artists. And Jay and I became friends because I was searching for a drummer for a project through a good friend of mine, Lenny Harris. And Lenny knew Jay from other projects. He's in the DC area. We call it the DMV, DC, Metropolitan, Maryland, and Virginia. And I thought, okay, let's see who it is. I had no idea that Jay would actually end up playing on a few records with me. And in addition to that, we got to know each other pretty well through production, his professionalism, and just how extremely talented he is. I got to work with Jay on a record called Worth It. I'm actually going to play a little bit of that this evening. Worth It is a song that I sent over to Jay because I wanted a really urban kind of neo-soul sound, and no better person than to send it to JJ. So everybody take a minute and check out my next single, just a little preview, called Worth It, featuring my son Brandon Bier on the remix. So yeah, that is going to be coming out really soon. Everybody's going to start asking me for it, but Worth It's a song I wrote, and it really describes kind of where I am right now with music, where I want a more extremely earthy, natural sound, where I'm just, not a lot going on in the track. And Jay, when he records, he just kind of has this incredible setup that when you send him something like in an hour, he's going to send you back an incredible sound. I don't know who he hasn't worked with. I think you can check him out on The Tiny Desk, most recently with Chaka Khan, where he played her entire catalog, and it was incredible. I watched it twice already. Jay's timing is just phenomenal. You sit with drummers. I work with drummers my entire career, and to have him on stage together with me in Maryland about a week ago, and I have a little footage from that, was like a dream come true. I've had the pleasure of working also with John Lampkin III, who's also equally fantastic, and it was actually John who got JJ to come and sit in on my show in Maryland. So all I can say is the drummer, you got to give him some love, and JJ is just fantastic. Some of the people who I've admired for decades, for example, he worked with people like Stephanie Mills. You can't compare the level of musicianship that you need to be able to achieve when you play with artists at that level. So knowing that he played with them, and then I had the incredible opportunity to be on the same stage and have recordings, it is just something that you put in the back of your mind, and then one day you achieve it, and it's great. The thing about Jay, he was recognized by Yamaha. Yamaha usually supports and sponsors some of the best drummers in the world. And you can catch online, I think there's a YouTube video of Dave Koz live at Blue Note in Tokyo. So from Tokyo to San Francisco, from Los Angeles to DC, this guy has played everywhere. So I really want you to remember the name. JJ Williams, and check out just a few of his YouTube videos. And also make sure you catch the Tiny Desk concert that was taped a few weeks ago in DC with him from NPR. I just think that we have to spend a lot more time celebrating musicians, because the singers, we want to sound good, but if you don't have incredible people behind you, then you're not going to achieve what you really want to achieve. So I always knew it's going to be teamwork, and having great people on the team always helps you elevate the projects that you're a part of. Here, while I'm working with artists from the UK or in Germany or in the United States, I've found that musicians are incredible in every single territory, and it's just a matter of your selection process, who you actually want to work with. I found that opening your mind and your soul and your ideas up to other people giving you suggestions, that's kind of how I found Jay. And I think artists have to realize you want to work with the best in the business, and those are the times where you actually learn something. I've learned something from not only working with Jay, with John Lampkin III. Actually, Dave Koz has a bass player named David Dyson, who also I've gotten a chance to work with on the Caught Up remix. And I guess we can actually throw in a piece of that hopefully real soon. Check it out on Spotify. It's called Caught Up, the John Lampkin remix, John Lampkin III. And it features also David Dyson on bass. And Dave and JJ, they actually play for Dave Koz together at certain points in their career. So I just think I've been a really lucky girl, and to think that music has brought me this far, for me, it's never ending. I always want to keep striving to learn and to achieve a higher level in this industry, and I do not think I'm the best at anything I'm doing. I just think I'm getting better day by day. So if anyone wants to check out some of our concerts, check out my YouTube channel, The Terri Green Project on YouTube, and you'll find a ton of videos where I actually am playing with Dave. There's with John and other musicians you might have heard of. I also had the pleasure of working with Robert Wawa Legrand, who you know from Close the Door and Brandy from the OJs, and I Want to Know from Joe. He'll be my next guest in one of the upcoming Green Room on location. So don't forget to keep checking us out and make sure that you tune in. We've done a few shows in the past. We had the Weather Girls here, also on YouTube. Basement Productions here in Hamburg has given me a great opportunity to just talk about the music industry, as so much is going on in our lives, in our careers, you know, the political spectrum, just so many things. And actually in this very moment, we've just gotten the news that Kamala Harris will run for vice president, or our current vice president will run for president of the United States against our former president, Donald Trump. So the atmosphere could not be more energized for people to want to feel good. And we need positive energy, we need positive vibes, and we just can't take everything so serious. But we do need to exercise our right. So I'm gonna put this out there for the next couple months. No matter who you vote for, no matter who you support, make sure you show up, because not showing up is just a vote for the person you actually didn't want. And that's just how that goes. Thank you so very much, and I hope you don't forget to check me out on YouTube. Also, Basement Productions, Basement 34 Productions, they do an incredible African Voices shot here in Hamburg, which talks about Black Americans, people of color, Black Africans, people living in Europe, and their experiences as people of color inside Europe. I think it's an incredible program, so don't forget to check that out. And tune in again for the Green Room with me, Terri Green. We look forward to seeing you. And JJ, thank you so much. You can check out JJ Williams on YouTube as well. And make sure you check out the Tiny Desk. I'm going to throw that back in there again. And I hope he's showing up with me one day on that very same program. Good night, everybody.